Hello everyone, welcome to Capitan Advanced Reading. My name is Susie and I'm here to help you better understand basic grammar. Through these 5 grammar lessons, you'll be able to do the writing section by yourself. Today is the first grammar lesson, which will be on making complete sentences. So let's get started. So again, we're going to be talking about complete sentences today. We're going to answer the question, what makes a complete sentence? Well, in a sentence, we always have the naming part and the telling part. The naming part tells who or what the sentence is about. The telling part tells about the naming part, and it always has a verb. First, let's go over naming parts. Naming parts answer the question, who or what is the sentence about? Or who or what does the action? Let's take a look at some examples. The sentence reads, all the kids in the class get on one big yellow bus. If we want to find the naming part, ask the question, who or what is the sentence about? Or who or what does the action? Here, all the kids in the class do the action, so all the kids in the class is the naming part. Let's try another one. The bus goes to the zoo. Here, who or what does the action? The bus. The bus does the action, so the bus is the naming part. Let's try another one. Doogie and Emily look at the cage. Here, who or what does the action, or who or what is the sentence about? The sentence is about Doogie and Emily, so Doogie and Emily is the naming part. Now let's move on to the telling part. The telling part answers the question, what about the naming part? Or what does the naming part do? Let's take a look at some example sentences. To find the telling part, first try to find the naming part. Remember, the naming part asks the question, who or what does the action? In this sentence, all the kids in the class get on one big yellow bus. Who or what does the action? All the kids in the class do the action. So then, find the telling part. What do they do? What action do they do? They get on one big yellow bus. So get on one big yellow bus is the telling part. Let's try another one. Doogie and Emily like the zoo a lot. Again, first find the naming part. Who or what is the sentence about? The sentence is about Doogie and Emily. They do the action. So what about Doogie and Emily? What do they do? They like the zoo a lot. So like the zoo a lot is the telling part. Here's the last example. A dolphin does tricks with a ball. Who or what is the sentence about? Who or what does the action? A dolphin. A dolphin does the action. So what about the dolphin? What does the dolphin do? Does tricks with the ball. So does tricks with the ball is the telling part. Now, let's take a look at complete sentences. To have a complete sentence, you always need to have the naming part and the telling part. If both are missing, it is not a complete sentence. So let's take a look at this example. Doogie and Emily. We want to figure out if this sentence is a complete sentence. Remember, we need both the naming part and the telling part, so look for both. In this sentence, who or what does the action? Doogie and Emily do the action. But what do Doogie and Emily do? Well, that part is missing. The telling part is missing. We only have the naming part here, Doogie and Emily, so this sentence is not a complete sentence. Now let's try another one. Doogie and Emily see a zebra. Well, we want to figure out if this is a complete sentence. Look for the naming part and the telling part. So, who or what does the action? Doogie and Emily do the action. Doogie and Emily is the naming part. So, what do Doogie and Emily do? What action do they do? They see a zebra. See a zebra is the telling part. So in the sentence, we have both the naming part, Doogie and Emily, and the telling part, see a zebra. So the sentence is a complete sentence. So now let's review what we learned today. We talked about the naming part and the telling part. We need both to make a complete sentence. The naming part answers the question, who or what, and the telling part answers the question, does what. Now let's move on to our worksheet. Let's go over each part together. For part 1, the direction says to read each sentence, then circle the naming part and underline the telling part of the sentence. So you need to find the naming part and the telling part. Let's try number 1 together. Mr. Backlund's class sees many different animals at the zoo. To find the naming part, ask the question, who or what is the sentence about? Well, here, Mr. Backlund's class is what the sentence is about. So Mr. Backlund's class is the naming part. And what do Mr. Backlund's class do? Sees many different animals at the zoo. So sees many different animals at the zoo is the telling part. So circle Mr. Backlund's class and underline sees many different animals at the zoo. Now let's move on to part 2. The direction says to finish the sentence by writing the telling part to the sentence. We have the naming part, but the telling part is missing. So you need to complete the sentence by adding the telling part. Number 1, Mom and Dad. Well, that is the naming part, so what do they do? Go to the zoo. They go to the zoo. So, Mom and Dad go to the zoo with the period at the end. All right, good luck on your worksheet. I'll see you next time.